Thanks, Will. Thanks all of you for taking a little bit of time today because, and I think as Will said, it is an exciting time in Montana. I think that unemployment rate's about 4%, which is 20% below the national average, a point below the national average. I know for all of you that are employers here in Bozeman, it's even that much lower, which does make it a challenge. We have more people working in Montana than ever before in our state's history. 10,000 new jobs added in our state in just this last year. You look at many of the national sort of standards of where our state is, we're consistently ranked by outside entities such as the Chamber of Commerce, the Tax Foundation, is among the top in the nation. #1 place in the nation for the last 3 years for entrepreneurial activity and startup businesses per capita. JP Morgan said we're the #1 state in the country for fiscal prudence. First in the nation for the fairest tax system. 3rd best place to be a taxpayer. 5th lowest cost of doing business. 6th for long-term job growth. 6th best business tax system. And as far as per capita income growth, we're 6th fastest in the nation as well. I think our economy is strong, it's growing stronger. State's ability to work collaboratively with the private sector has never been better. And that's also what's exciting with Microbian and Stan and others come, because we are trying to work on the government side to say, how can we actually support private sector businesses and job creators as they continue to build? 2 years ago, I released what's called the Main Street Montana Plan. The idea was any of these businesses, large and small, as they come up with that idea, as they're building a business, the first thing they do is write up a plan. They assess the strengths, the weaknesses, where the opportunities are, what the obstacles are. But the state of Montana had never really done that. Now, we shouldn't, when I look at state government, we ought not be the ones writing that plan. So we actually tapped 2 private sector leaders, a guy named Larry Simpkins, who's CEO of Washington Companies, and Bill Johnstone, CEO of D.A. Davidson, to do that. And they got input from all across the state. Literally every county, and they had 7 listening sessions, and they came up with a plan that more or less put it out. It was about 2 years ago with 100+ deliverables. But the next step was really to go industry by industry. We call them key industry networks and say, for each of these industries, where can government provide better opportunities? Where can government get out of the way? And sometimes what is it that just even that industrial sector can do to move things that much further? Those key industry networks, one of the things that is exciting is I think that we really are both probably in an unprecedented way, just through this Main Street program, there's about 200 different businesses all across the sectors involved, and we're engaging, we're listening, we're responding. One of the recommendations that came up time and time again was from a key industry network that was, we call the Downtown Small Business. What they said is they needed a simple, really straightforward way to guide them through the process of obtaining the proper permits, the licenses, identify other steps that they need to get the particular business up and running. I mean, as a small business person or a startup, you know you're going to have to get licenses, you know you're going to have to go to agencies, but you don't want to spend all your time trying to figure that out versus as you're building your business. So instead of engaging in elaborate, more or less scavenger hunt for information scattered across any number of local, state, at times federal agencies, Montanans need a simpler and more direct way to determine what exactly they needed to get their business up and running. They said that, so we went to work. John's office, the Office of Economic Development, spent the last year diligently working with state agencies, our local and county governments, and private business to develop the Private Business Navigator. Online tool, which we can walk you through or later after I'm done talking. It really is a one-stop shop for anyone looking to start a new small business in Montana. Guides that prospective business owner through a series of questions about their business idea, walks them through the basics of registering that business with the Secretary of State, then points them to the appropriate permitting or licensing agencies relative to their business. In addition to trying to simplify the permit process, it also provides information about starting a new business, comprehensive list of resources to aid in that effort, from state resources at our Department of Commerce to local resources provided by Prospera Business Network here in Bozeman. We found in the real world, it took less than 30 minutes for that average user to really set up that framework, that comprehensive checklist of licenses, permits, registrations. We've been online since January 14th. More than 3,500 have visited the Navigator, and 200 individuals then have used that business checklist to actually get their business up and running. I at one time had started that pillar of the legal establishment called the Bullock Law Firm. This was before I was Attorney General. And it struck me, as I thought a lawyer, how long it took me to figure out where all I needed to go just to get this business going. Government ought to be providing those opportunities to ease along in that process. Small businesses really are the backbone of Montana's economy. I'm pleased with the work that went into this Business Navigator, and work that will be continuing to perfect it as business men and women, the backbone of our economy, come to us and say, here's another way that we can actually have government providing better opportunities for our growth than obstacles. As we do that though, as business leaders, as many of you are, I need your help. I need that feedback, constructive, and when you're frustrated, to really tackle some of the more challenging issues that we face. Thanks you all for being here. Thank you all for being a part of an exciting economy and making this that much better place to live, work, recreate, and raise a family.